Welcome to this episode of CynSpeaks. Thank you for joining us today for another episode. Today we're actually going to talk about defining the heart. In our last episode, we defined the ego and how that shows up for most people. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the heart and how that shows up for most people. So pretty much what we're going to do for this month is talk about balance. So ego and heart balance is so important just for living and walking a daily life that's in alignment with exactly what you want it to be. And sometimes the ego will wrap us up in things that aren't important or force us to react to situations that don't serve us and really don't align with our beliefs. So understanding both the ego and the heart and understanding how those show up in our daily life can help us to be more aware and live more intentional and essentially abundant lives. So the heart, when we're talking about the heart, we're talking about the part of us that is gratitude focused. It feels good. It's low resistance. Things flow. This is the part of us that allows us to make the world a better place. Our creative juices come from the heart. The heart can also be called feminine energy or feminine divine. There are many terms for it, but the ego versus the heart, I think, will align with most people's beliefs. So that's what we'll call it. So when we're talking about the heart, in our daily walk, pretty much the heart is what feels good and that also doesn't harm others. So if you're doing something that feels good in your soul and doesn't hurt other people, then you're acting in alignment with the desires of your heart. A huge way to immediately align with the heart is to walk in your purpose. And usually that's creating something. For most people, that's creating something. It could be a book, it could be a podcast, it could be a piece of written art like poetry, it could be visual art, it could be audio art, it could be music, whatever it is that pretty much moves your soul is you being in alignment with the heart. And when you're in alignment with the heart, you're also aligned with the source. So whatever you believe the source title to be, whether that's the universe or God or Yah or Allah or Jesus or whatever you believe your source name to be, you're most aligned when you're leveraging the gifts that have been given to you. And those are also the things that will make your soul sing, essentially. So doing those creative things, especially in a time of sadness or darkness in your world, will help you quickly align with the heart. And when you're aligned with the heart, then you're aligned with source. So it's a place that feels good and it's safe and it pretty much allows you to move in a way that doesn't bring harm to others in any way. Also, being fully aligned with heart, you'll understand and have a clear understanding of the collective energy that connects all beings. So the things that move you to serve are also from the heart space. So if you see somebody that may be homeless and be asking for food, that piece of you that moves you to just go grab them a meal real quick and give it to them, that's you walking in alignment with your heart. And it's easy and it feels good and it's just the right thing to do and there's no questions about if it's the right move. Like, you just do it because it's right and it's contributing to the collective that we all belong to. And heart is also very gratitude focused. Now think about that for a bit. If you're walking in gratitude, a lot of things just can't happen. You can't complain. if you're moving from a space of gratitude. You can't be dissatisfied with that which you have because you're thankful for all the things that you have. Now, dissatisfied is different from being a little bit uncomfortable. Discomfort may push you to grow, but being dissatisfied means that you don't believe that what you have is okay and not good enough. And we can want better, but also be okay with where we're at. That's the ultimate balance. And if you're moving from gratitude and you're waking up with a feeling of gratitude for the fact that you woke up, and you jump out of bed because you have the ability to jump out of bed, and you're thankful for all of those small things, you're also aligning with Source. And then it also puts you in a perfect position to receive. So if you believe in, say, the law of attraction, and you've been working on manifesting, right? And you've been putting things into your stockpile of goals or things that you want to manifest, and it's not working, look at your alignment with your heart. See if what you're doing every single day is aligned with what feels good. Are you being creative? Are you using the gifts that you've been given? Are you giving to others? Do you wake up thankful for all of the small things? Are you happy? This is a big one. Happiness is in alignment with heart. If you're living a happy life with that which you have, you are aligning with heart. And what that also does, which is actually pretty cool, when you're extremely thankful, like genuinely thankful for what you have right now, it actually sets you up to receive more. So it puts you in a really good position for receiving, and it's really easy. It's so easy. In the beginning, it's a little challenging, but after a while, it becomes so easy to live this way. And you kind of look at your life and you're like, wait, how come I didn't always live like this? Because it's so easy and it feels good all the time. Also, situations, once you're, we'll say in the advanced stages, or once you're very comfortable with being aligned with heart, situations won't knock you off of that. No matter what happens, you will have the ability to find the good in it. That's not always easy to do. Trust and believe, I've been in many situations that people would look at and they're like, why are you happy about this? And my response was always, well, I'm always okay. Everything always works out for me. I have no question that everything's going to be fine. And I'm sure that this will make me better. And for so many years of my life, that was just my perspective. And that kind of became my perspective because life was throwing a lot of crazy things at me. And if I looked at it any other way, I would have gotten discouraged and sad and down on myself and gone through things like depression. And I didn't ever have to deal with that. I'm so thankful because my perspective was always so clear in that everything's going to be okay. Now, there was a period of my life not too long ago that got me kind of off track. And it was just because as a human, I started to feel human emotions, and it didn't feel good for me. It wasn't in alignment with me, but I didn't see any other way. I almost forgot that everything's going to be okay. And although that wasn't the best mindset at the time, it was necessary, because what it did was force me to really go within and look at everything in my life and reevaluate the value that I was placing on everything, the value that I was placing on the opinions that others had for me, the value that I was placing on physical, tangible items that at the end of the day mean nothing, the value that I was placing on relationships that weren't serving me and weren't good for me, the value that I was placing on people that were just negative, or we'll call them takers. That's just the space that they were in, was to take. And because I was a giver, it was fine until it became unhealthy. And I didn't have anything left to give, and then these people didn't want me anymore, right? So looking at everything happened because I got into this space of forgetting to daily align myself with heart. So I'm back and back into a space where I'm heart focused because that's my comfort zone. That's who I am. It's who I've always been. And it feels good. I believe that all of us started out this way. If you look at a child, they're just naturally kind. They naturally live in their heart. They naturally see the fun in life. They're thankful for the small things. They get excited with the small things. You could take kids to the park and they're happier than if you take them to the movies or something that costs a lot of money. Like, kids like to live. They're the best example of those that live. And we were all kids once. So we all knew this. We all were in that space. And we're kind of programmed with media and especially now social media to move away from satisfaction in life and being happy. So that reminder to realign ourselves with heart is huge. So let this be a reminder to spend some time thinking about that and aligning yourself with your heart. When you are aligned, things will be so easy. You won't encounter resistance anywhere. You'll encounter kind people everywhere. You'll constantly put out kind words and good energy, and that will come back to you consistently, without question. That's just the way it works. Your energy will make the world better when you're aligned. You'll be contributing to the improvement of the world, even if it is your interaction on a daily basis with one new person. That smile that you give somebody at the coffee shop, that is alignment with heart. And that is making a difference in that person's world, which essentially makes a difference for the entire world. So think about that, your alignment with heart. Be mindful of that the upcoming week. Where are your thoughts coming from? Any thoughts of jealousy or envy or revenge or anything along those lines, that's not heart, that's ego. Because if you're aligned with heart, you know that everything works itself out and everything's going to be okay. So think about that. And I really hope that you take it seriously and get excited about aligning with heart, because it's such a good place to be. I can tell you that from experience. And we have the ability to choose. We're so blessed that we have the ability to choose how to live our lives, regardless of circumstance, regardless of situations. We get to choose how we see it. And that's huge. So that's my hope for you. And that's pretty much it for this episode of CynSpeaks. Make sure you add me on Instagram and you share the podcast and you rate the podcast, because that helps us so much. And I appreciate the fact that you joined us today. I really appreciate that you spent your time listening in, and hopefully you got something that's going to help carry you through the next week.